Hi everyone, I'm Chris Hernandez and this is the Weekly Report. We know that street repairs are very important to our residents, always a top priority, and we also know that potholes are a huge problem right now. We've been getting a lot of questions about potholes from the media and from our residents. That's why we invited reporters out to explain how we feel potholes and what it takes to get those holes fixed. If you look at last year, in the first 6 months of 2018, last winter at this time, we had 256 potholes that were reported to our 311 center. This year, 1,400, and that's just the ones that have been reported. So that is 5 times as many potholes reported this year for the first 6 weeks of the year.
Are city crews overwhelmed by the numbers?
Well, I'll tell you what, it is a challenge. And I want to point out that we have, on a good day like today, this is a week where we can really get caught up because the weather is cooperating, right? We have 8 to 10 crews out around the city right now. We've assembled a few here to be able to show you how we actually do this, but all over the city right now we have multiple crews working. So we're trying to get caught up, and of that 1,400, 802 have been repaired already. That still leaves 600 to go. And I also want to point out, like on this block alone, you might know that we got 1 or 2 calls to 311, right? But just look at the street. That counts as 50 or 60 potholes just in this one block alone, where they're all lined up down the center line there. So there are more potholes than are actually reported. We know that, but we want people to call 311 because that's how we know where the potholes are, so we can get out there and we can fix them.
Is there any thought of devoting more resources to the problem?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, one staff study showed that if we had $45 million a year to go to road repairs, that would be where we'd need to be as a city. Right now the budget has about $10 million. The budget request that's going to be revealed tomorrow would take that up to $16 million. I have a job for y'all. We have 30 openings in Public Works right now for maintenance workers and equipment operators, and we'd love to put you to work fixing potholes. It's a good job, good benefits, decent pay. The city also has a pension plan still. A lot of folks don't know that, but we're a good place to work and we'd love to hire you. And that's 30 jobs just in Public Works. There are similar openings in aviation and in parks and in neighborhood services as well.
So that's part of the problem, is a shortage of manpower.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we could put more people to work and we're ready to do that. But it is what it is. I mean, you look around at the economy right now, we have a booming economy that's good for Kansas City, but it also means there's a lot of competition for jobs. We now have something called thump pads. Interesting name. What does it do? This is something so that when our supervisors and inspectors are driving around the city a lot and they see a huge crater of a pothole, they can grab a thump pad out of their truck, throw it in the hole, creates a much better ride for you as a driver, so you're not falling in that hole, and then they can call in the repair and get a crew out there more quickly. So we've got some of those here we can show you today.
The procedure when we're doing a pothole, we come to the pothole, we make sure no debris, no ice or water is in it. Then we use, after we clean it out, then we use a adhesive called tack, and tack bind the new asphalt to the street and to the old asphalt. So we tack them up real good. Then we either put hot mix or cold mix. We've been using cold mix because it's better, got more emulsion in it, more oils in it for the winter time because it's wet. So, and then that worked better. Then we put it in, we spread it out, then we vibrate it to compact it in so it can stay more. So that's the procedure, and we just do it and make sure everything's right. Because I drive these streets and I don't want my tires busted, so I make sure that they are right.
These guys are working every single day, and they don't do just potholes. These are guys who go out and they are plowing the streets, they're helping with the branch pickup, so it's been a tough winter for them as well. I mean, they have been essentially going back and forth between plowing streets and patching potholes, back and forth, back and forth. A lot of 12-hour shifts, a lot of weekend work. They worked even on the Super Bowl. That day we were nice to them and cut the shift back from 12 hours to 8 hours. So again, it's a tough job. We appreciate the work they're doing out here, and I think a big tip of the hat to these guys who are out here every single day trying to do this. We know that street repairs are important to you because of our resident surveys. And this year, in the budget that has just been proposed, we are calling for more money for street repairs. If you want to speak out on the budget, come to one of our budget hearings. We have 4 of them set up in all parts of the city. The annual citywide budget hearings will take place starting Tuesday, February 19th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Southeast Community Center. Also Thursday, February 21st from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Kansas City Police Department headquarters building downtown. Also Saturday, February 23rd from 9 to 11 a.m. at the R.B. Doolin Center in the Northland. And Saturday, March 2nd from 9 to 11 a.m. at the Greg Kleiss Community Center on the east side in the historic 18th and Vine District. We are still out there picking up those downed branches at the curb from those storms back in January. But guess where those are going? Check out these mountains of mulch. This is where we're taking all the limbs and branches that were down by that storm. Crews have been hard at work picking them up. They're going to this leaf and brush site off 40 Highway. The limbs are being mulched, and those will eventually be sold or become compost. Nearly 8,600 residents requested the free curbside pickup. There are so many branches at the curb that we are having to extend the amount of time we are taking to pick those up, and we've also rented 11 more trucks to get those. Crews are expected to complete the project, but it will take another few weeks, so leave your branches at the curb. Do you like to ride your bike, either for fun or to commute to work, get around town? Well, we are rolling out a new bike plan, and we want your final input on it. We're holding a series of public hearings, so join the planning department for any of these hearings. There are 2 more to go. We've already held 2, but the next 2 are Tuesday, February 19th in the Northland, and Wednesday, February 20th at the Greg Kleiss Community Center. All meetings are held from 6 to 8 p.m. To find out more, visit kcmo.gov/KCBikePlan. Due to the President's Day holiday, trash pickup shifts to the holiday schedule this week. So expect Monday's pickup to take place on Tuesday and so on throughout the week. Friday trash collection will take place on Saturday. For more information, visit kcmo.gov/trash. Next up, some more great videos from other city departments. I'm Chris Hernandez. Hope to see you at the upcoming budget hearings.
Tie the Knot has been an annual event here at the City Market since 2007. So we have married quite a few couples and have had lots of happily ever afters.
Well, we were just randomly looking for something unique, and we were going to get married in the summer with sunflowers, but then we decided we didn't want to wait that long, and I Googled Tie the Knot, and this whole page came up. And we called Sue, and we were the last couple to be picked. And so we decided, just to go for it.
We just love this event for a variety of reasons. First off, we really want to let the public know that the City Market is open year-round, even in February, even when it's cold out. We got lucky on weather today, but sometimes it's a lot chillier. So that's one of the main reasons. And then, of course, we just like to promote all kinds of diversity and love and, promote the whole spirit of Valentine's.
And now by the power invested in me, I pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Kansas City's rich history is represented in the stories of the individuals who live in Kansas City, the stories of our neighborhoods and our communities. One area filmmaker who's made it his mission to share these important histories is Rodney Thompson, whose current film, I Remember 12th Street, will be screened here at the Nelson Atkins Museum on February 23rd. Rodney Thompson, thank you for being here, and we also have a special guest, Junie and James, who is also participating in the film. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Thompson, what is it about 12th Street and this specific period of time that led you to focus this film on this period?
Well, 12th Street is an iconic street in the annals of Kansas City history. It's been immortalized in song and is the subject of jazz legends. And I just felt very much like I wanted to tell the story of 12th Street. And my partner and I, Stinson McClendon, took a look at it and started to talk to people. and we found out that people who lived in that area had such an affinity for the street. People who lived during the 1940s and 1950s at its height of popularity, and to allow them to tell their stories of their memories of 12th Street. I was struck by how all of the people unanimously seemed to feel a great sense of community, a sense of community that doesn't seem to exist anymore. So.
The film will be screened here at the Nelson Atkins Museum, and it's a free screening, but we want to make sure that people still register on the Nelson's website, nelson-atkins.org, because we want to make sure that people reserve their seat, because there's going to be a lot of activity happening at the museum. But if people want to find out more about what you're working on, either upcoming projects or past projects, where's the best place to see that information?
Well, we've been very fortunate to have been supported by an organization called Real Images Film and Video Group, and there is a website called realimages.org, that's R-E-E-L, images.org, and you can find out about some of the work that we're doing in the past and some of the things that we're working on right now.
And what was so special about 12th Street?
To me, people and the way things were back in them days. You know, I knew most all the kids, you know, we all hung out together, played together. And then the streets, we had streetcars back then. And then we had these apartment buildings, wasn't too many houses. Most places were apartment buildings. And then the people, and then all the different clubs and the pool halls and restaurants that we had. We had small restaurants. We had one that built later on in the years, was called Vivian's. It was the most modern restaurant. Then we had the clubs. They didn't have, the Orchid Room was about the biggest club. It was one of the biggest in Kansas City for black or white.
And I do want to add that Julian has a phenomenal memory. He has instant recall to events and activities that happened 60, 70 years ago. So
what a gift.
It's a fascinating part of the film, hearing him tell his stories.
Great. Thank you so much for telling us about the history of 12th Street and for sharing information about this film.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about the film.
The Neighborhood Tourist Development Fund supports local nonprofits that bring cultural, social, educational, and recreational activities to our area. To learn about additional upcoming events, visit kcmo.gov/ntdf.
What would you do if you witnessed someone collapse due to a sudden cardiac arrest and they are non-responsive? We all know to call 911, but did you know that there is a new hands-only CPR protocol that doesn't require mouth-to-mouth resuscitation? Check to see if they're responsive by asking if they're okay.
Are you okay?
If they're unresponsive, immediately call 911. Remember, hands-only CPR is not meant to replace any emergency medical services. With an ambulance on the way, position them on their back on a hard, flat surface. Check for pulse and breath sounds. If no breath sounds or pulse are detected, immediately begin chest compressions. Remember, no mouth to mouth. Place your hands together and interlock your fingers. Press the heel of your hand into the center of the chest. Press down firmly about 2.5 inches depth into the chest. Firm, fast, quality chest compressions at 100 to 120 beats a minute is ideal. Continue quality chest compressions until the ambulance arrives. Remember, hands-only CPR works by doubling the person's chance of surviving. For more information, contact us at 816-513-4622.